Hello and welcome back to Pentiment, a medieval narrative adventure game. In the previous episode of Pentiment, I talked to Brother Idoc about the burned book that I found in the library, and he warned me to forget all about it. I checked out preparations for St. John's Eve in the town commons and watched the peasants dancing, then left Caspar to enjoy the festivities while I dined with the abbot on fine food and wine and tried to convince him to cut the locals some slack in their taxes. I chatted with the villagers around the bonfire, visited Smoky in the woods, and dreamed about a labyrinth. I found out the real reason for Andreas's despair was that he lost a child, and his mind palace had been taken over by melancholy. Then I awoke to discover that Caspar had not returned from the festivities, and thus begins Chapter 5, St. John's Eve. Let's find out what happens next in Pentiment. Alright, I am in my bedclothes. I guess this is how I'm going to be leaving the guest house. Taking my little lantern and looking for Caspar, my apprentice. I have no idea where to even start. I guess we'll go back to the town commons, which is where the bonfire was held. We'll start there and see if anyone saw Caspar. Whoa. There's a lot of commotion tonight. It sounds like everyone's gone to the woods. Okay, I guess the game's trying to tell me that's where I should go to, so let's go. Alright, these are the costumed dancers. They were dancing around the bonfire. Now they seem to be enjoying some alcohol in the woods. And gathering herbs. Ooh, this one kind of looks like that weird witch person in Witcher 3. I think that's a beekeeper's outfit. They would put baskets, woven baskets over their faces. Alright, I'm gonna start with Smoky because Smoky always pays attention to what's going on in the forest. He may have seen Caspar. Oh, Smoky's not here. There's a little plant growing there. Was that there before? I guess Smoky's gone to bed or he's gone off into the woods. Okay, that's not any help. I can't talk to these folks. This is just telling me that the peasants aren't allowed to gather sticks in the woods anymore. This guy is really tripping. Alright, I guess we'll head out to the shrine. Oh, there's Caspar. And somebody just ran off. Well, that was easy peasy. Hey, Caspar. Master Andreas, what are you doing out here? Caspar, thank God. I was worried when you didn't come back. Where have you been? Caspar, what the hell are you doing still up? Why didn't you come back? I'll just say I was worried. This will be remembered. I was at the bonfire with Killian. Alright, that is the innkeeper's son, I believe. But I heard a ruckus from deeper in the woods. I left to go see what it was. I don't think you want to be checking out any ruckuses in these woods right now, or you may get an eyeful. Oh, there's Father Gano. What's he doing out here? Oh, that's exactly what Andreas says. Alright. I was chasing one of the townsfolk, but I lost track of the costumed buffoon. The forest is off limits. I'll figure out who's breaking the rules and excommunicate them myself. Oh shoot, there's a scream. What was that? The last time we heard a scream in this game, it was the murder of the Baron. Someone is screaming in town. They're really taking this nonsense too far this year. Let's go back to town and see what's happened. Let's go back to town together and see what the noise was. What are we still doing here? Come on. Alright, let's go back to town and see what's happened. Alright, well, let's go then. Whoa. What'd you find, Caspar? I've never seen these flowers before. I wonder where they found them. Who was that running off anyway? It kind of looked like an owl costume, and it looked like a very large person. It's too hard to tell who's who in those stupid costumes. We can worry about that later. Let's check on the town. Who cares? Let's see what the screaming is about. Alright, we can worry about it later. Let's check the town. Holy crud. Werner, is he... Alright, that's the doctor, Dr. Stolz, there on the right. I can't tell who's been crushed under the stones. Dead, yes, I'm afraid so. Someone released the rope. The platform crushed him. Oh my gosh. Alright, so we have ourselves another murder. How did this happen? Baltasar and Lenhardt and I heard the crash and stepped outside to see what had happened. Yeah, they lived nearby. Right, and then we saw a figure in a costume rushing off from the Rathaus. That's the community center there, the little town council chamber or whatever that they're in the middle of building here. They're calling it the Rat House. It must have been whoever released the rope. And what were you doing during all of this, Lenhardt? Enjoying a light meal with these gentlemen. Ah, what a shame you can't blame me for this, Peter. Caspar, look to see if Otto had a note. Otto? That's Otto? Otto's the one that got crushed? Huh? Do it. Oh, maybe he had a note luring him out here, like the Baron had a note luring him to the chapter house? In Act 1 when he got murdered. No, Master, there's nothing. Are you certain? What were you expecting? I'm not sure. Eva, my God. Oh, poor Eva. Otto! That's her husband. No, no. You. The abbot must have killed him. The bastard always had it out for Otto. We all knew it. Okay, I don't necessarily put it past the abbot, to be honest, because when Baron Rothvogel was found dead in the chapter house in Act 1, the abbot was like, quick, we gotta hide the body. Like, he was just, like, not thinking clearly. So, like, he doesn't make the best decisions, and he is rather rash, and he has no morals. We know that. So, yeah, I wouldn't put it past him. We need answers. How dare you, says the abbot. I won't just stand here and be accused of such a foul act by a peasant. Go after him! Grab your torches and pitchforks! Oh, it's a mob! Uh-oh. Wait, no, the abbot was with us. He's innocent. That's right. There was no way he could have killed Otto. Caspar is right, even if we don't have any proof. I mean, just because the abbot was with us when we heard the scream doesn't mean that the murder happened right at that moment. Because it sounded like a woman's scream. It didn't sound like the scream of Otto being crushed by stones. So we still don't really know for sure that the abbot didn't do it. So I'll say, yeah, Caspar's right, but we don't have proof yet. Grab the artist and the boy, too. We'll get to the bottom of this. Caspar, run. Oh, shoot. They're after us, too? To the Abbey. Oh, dang. Do I have to jump over any barrels or anything? I'm just legging it. I'm just holding the joystick to the right and going as fast as I can. Brothers! To the library, now! This is all cutscene. They ran through the church, this way! Are they gonna hold themselves up in the library? Oh no, they blocked us out. Andreas, get out of the way. Otto's death demands justice. The abbot couldn't have killed Otto. He was with us when we found the body. No, that doesn't mean he didn't do it. He could have done it and then come and found us in the forest. That's true. He did arrive with you, but you don't know where he was before that, do you, Andreas? Yeah, that's true. That's true, Johan. Who else would want to kill Otto? Oh, Martin. Martin was seen arguing with him in the meadow. Coward, killer, Andreas, move. I'm not moving, I won't let you in. If you go after Grenot, the real killer will get away. I don't like his stance any more than you, but violence is not the answer here, Peter. Stand your ground. We don't know if Grenot is the killer or not. The game is kind of making it seem like, oh, he couldn't possibly have done it. But, like I said, he may have done it before he came and found us in the forest. But I'm going to say I don't like his stance any more than you, but violence is not the answer. No mercy. Face us. He's a monster. If those monks don't come out, we'll set fire to the whole place and cook them. You've all gone mad. Yeah, well, whose fault is that, Grenot? Even if you don't trust the abbot, trust me. I swear he wasn't the one to do it. He was with me. Look, Grenot wasn't the only one who disagreed or disliked Otto. There must be someone else who killed him. We all have good reasons to hate the abbot, but he's not the culprit here. I will say Grenot wasn't the only one who disagreed or disliked Otto. We should figure out why someone else would want to kill him. Fine, damn it. You've got 1 day to find whoever you think is the real killer, Andreas. Oh, only 1 day. Otherwise, we will come back for the abbot. Andreas, all I want is justice for my husband. Please, you must find the murderer. I swear I will find whoever really killed Otto. Eva, Otto was a good man. I won't stop until I find who killed him. Yeah, I'll say that. I've got 1 day, huh? Oh my gosh. The peasants are really convinced that Grenot killed Otto, but it was impossible. No, it wasn't impossible. Peter's temper got in the way. The abbot is an easy target because he was at odds with Otto and his cause. It was no secret that Grenot and Otto were at odds. I don't wish death on the man, but the abbot is an ass. Yeah, that's true. It was no secret that Grenot and Otto were at odds. Many of the peasants hate the abbot and would like to see him suffer like they have. Master Peter was furious. He's only giving you a day to find the murderer. Why'd you even agree to find who really killed Otto anyway? It didn't turn out well last time, did it? Why do it again? Everyone deserves justice, Caspar. Honestly, anything to keep from going back to Nuremberg. I don't want to talk about it. I'll say everyone deserves justice. You have a good heart, Master Andreas. So who do you think did it then? Where do we even start? We should talk to Lenhardt. He has always hated the peasants and supported the abbot. He was very vocal against Otto in the town commons the other day. He might have hated Otto enough to kill him. It's worth talking to him to find out. Even if he didn't kill Otto, he might know who else had the motivation to. Yeah, I'll say that. And what about Martin Bauer? When we saw him talking to Otto, they seemed to be arguing. Yeah. I remember that. It's not likely. Martin supported Otto and the peasants. Did he, though? He seemed kind of mixed on that one, because on one hand, he spoke out in favor of Otto and the peasants, but then on the other hand, when I talked to him at the bonfire, he was like, yeah, I don't really care what happens. I'm a God-fearing man, and I support the abbot. So it's like, why was he saying it both ways? I think there's more going on there. Martin was always an ass. If they had a bad enough argument, he could have wanted to kill Otto. It would be worth talking to Martin to see what they were discussing. He might have an idea of who would want to kill Otto. Yeah, I'll say that. Good idea. Who else? I can't think of anyone else who would want to kill Otto. I'm sure we can find some other suspects. I'll say we might be able to find other suspects. We'll have to do some more investigating to find out who the murderer is, but we'd better move fast. Could the murderer confess to Father Thomas? Oh, that's a good point. Probably not. That would be foolhardy. Maybe. Even if the murderer did, Father Thomas is bound by the seal of confession and he won't tell us. Yeah, I'll say that. However, we could eavesdrop on confessions. Since St. John's Eve just happened, the townsfolk will all come in to confess. Oh yeah, one of the townsfolk might have heard something anyway. That's a good place to start. We could also ask around at the Golden Hand. Alright, oh my gosh, so many leads to follow up on. I guess we're never going to get to talk to Otto later about the head of St. Moritz that he found. The travelers might have seen or heard something useful. People will tell outsiders anything. They might have heard something we missed. I'll say the travelers may have seen or heard something useful. What about the person who ran by us in the forest? They were wearing these flowers. I've never seen them before. Right, we have to find the source of those flowers in the woods. That might give us some sort of connection to the killer. Oh wait, I know this flower. It's a marsh marigold. It grows in wet, shaded wood. Okay, first typo of this episode. But I don't know how many typos we've found in the game so far. There have been many. Anyway, it grows, I think that's supposed to be, it grows in wet, shaded woods. The flower might have a medicinal use. Someone with medical knowledge and tasting might know where it grows. Okay, no, I know what it is. We have a lot of good places to start. No, I'll use my nature background. It's a marsh marigold. Perhaps around the shrine of Saint Satia, the large tree in the area would provide the adequate environment. We have a lot of good places to start. Even though time is short, we have a good chance at finding the real killer. Alright, let's get to work. Oh my gosh, so many leads, and what are we going to follow up on? Oh, look at this. It appears I'm going to be involved in solving another murder. I know that Father Gano couldn't have killed Otto. You don't know that, though. The game is really shoving that down my throat, that it couldn't be Father Gano. But you don't know that. You don't know what he did. He might have released the rope, crushed Otto, and then come to the forest, and then somebody screamed, and because they found Otto. It just, the game's trying so hard to make it not be Father Gano, but I don't know. I can't let Peter endanger the library and the monks. I need to work quickly. Great. I should speak with Father Thomas about the St. John's Day confessions. I should also visit Lenhardt the Miller. He's heavily invested in what's happening. I can ask around the Golden Hand. I also need to search the forest to find the flowers. Okay. The marsh marigold grows in wet shaded woods. Look at the St. Satia shrine. I should speak to Niko Berger at the Golden Hand and see if his family have heard anything. And Lenhardt Muller was with Baltasar and Werner when Otto was killed, but I should still talk to him. So he definitely has an alibi, but he openly opposed Otto and may know other people who opposed him as well. Okay. Decisions. Which option would you start with? Tell me in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts on this new murder mystery. Alright, well the inn is right here in the meadow, so let's go to the inn and talk to folks. Oh, who are these people? Joshua? 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 God bless you. Good day, Master Mailer. Who's upstairs? Who's that little kid? I don't remember seeing that little kid before. Hello, Master Mailer. Anything I can do for you? Yes, actually. You were pretty vocal against Otto in the town commons. What was that about? Just what I said then. I don't want anyone to get hurt, especially now. We've already had one death in Tasting. We don't need any more. What about the plight of the peasants? They're dying too. That doesn't explain why you spoke out. Otto never advocated for violence. You were opposed to Otto's ideas, though. He spoke against violence. Yeah, I'll say that. Otto was an ideologue. He didn't see the reality of the situation. The Golden Hand relies on pilgrims and travelers for its business, Andreas. If Otto got his way, everything would be chaos. Swabia is burning as it is. We need the law to live civilized lives, Andreas. What Otto was advocating for scared me. I'll do whatever I can to find the murderer and instill order again, Hanna. Well, it's hardly better now. Otto is the only thing holding Peter back. Yeah, I'll say that. Dear God, I hadn't considered that. I pray this ends quickly. I should get back to work. If you need anything else, let me know. Well, yeah, tell me if you've heard any other information. Who else had it out for Otto? How come I can't talk to Joshua, whoever this is? Gosh darn it. Okay, Niko. Master Mailer, is there anything I can do for you? Niko, have you heard anyone in here talking about Otto's murder? Not just talking about it, but, you know. Yeah, you know. Exactly. Like they had something to do with it? Oh no, I think I'd remember something like that. Then again, I try not to eavesdrop on conversations. I don't want to get yelled at or worse. But maybe you could find more luck talking to people. Beer always tends to loosen people's lips. Buy around for everyone and you can have the run of the place. You'll be here a while though. Oh, this is one of those choices. Okay. So if I buy around for everyone, it'll take up a portion of my day. And I'll run out of time to pursue other leads. I'll say interesting idea, maybe later. Okay. Who's this guy? Can't talk to him. Hello, Samuel. He still has nothing to say to us. Alright, so maybe if I buy a round of drinks, I'll be able to question all of these people in here. Alright, well that's one option. Let's go check out the Shrine of Saint Satia. And see if we can figure out where these flowers came from. Oh. We've never been able to go this way before. Master, I think I see an opening behind these trees that leads to a deeper area of the forest. Could this be where the mysterious costumed figure ran when Otto was murdered? We should see where it leads. It could take a while, though. Oh, jeez. Alright. So that's going to take a while, too. Alright, we'll come back when we have more time. When it says take a while, I have no idea how long a while is in this game. It's really hard to tell how much time passes. It seems to be sections of the day marked with meals in between. So, like right now, it's nuns or nons or however you say that word, which is 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Really? So, like, somehow I woke up and just skipped prime and terse and sext? Oh, that's crazy. Okay. So we pretty much just have like Vespers is sunset and then Compline. We don't have a lot of time, so any of these leads that we choose to follow will cut us off from following other leads, I guess. If it works the same as it did in Act 1. Alright, so let's talk to Smokey, see if he saw anything. Hey Smokey. Good to see you, Master Mailer. Oh, I can't talk to him? He didn't see anything in the forest? Dang it. Alright, so I imagine if I go in and talk to Father Thomas and say I want to listen to confessions, it's going to take up a chunk of my day as well. Let's see what he says. Oh, he's all dressed up. Oh, Andreas, what have you come back to? This is awful, just awful. I should never have allowed Claus to publish the 12 articles. This is what happens when common people get agitated by reading nonsense. Nonsense? Is that what you think of the 12 articles? What's the alternative? Forbidding them from reading? I'll ask about the 12 articles. I spoke rashly. There is merit to the fundament of the 12 articles, of course. There is even merit in the ideas of Martin Luther, but I'm not about to advocate that the peasantry read his works. These pamphlets, these books, can make people crazed, furious. Sister Amelie and I have seen what happens when good people become part of a mob. I'm sorry? What? You've seen a mob before? What do you mean? Before we came to Tassing, I was the priest at a town near a Benedictine convent. The town was full of good people. But the good people were whipped into a panic by an educated neighbor, the town doctor. He had read the Malleus Maleficarum, The Hammer of Witches, a treatise on witchcraft published in Speyer in 1486. Theologians at the University of Cologne condemned the book as unethical and not in line with Catholic doctrine. Despite this, the book has enjoyed widespread popularity. Yeah, that's what kind of stoked up the witch hunts, I guess. Earlier in Act 1, they said there had been an inquisition in Innsbruck. And I think people were getting burned at the stake as witches. That's a town that's near Tassing here. The witch hunting manual? The author was driven out of Innsbruck, wasn't he? Yes, the word of that had not reached our doctor. One thing the book's author and the doctor shared was a contempt for and hatred of women. In the convent, the doctor saw a coven of witches. In Sister Amelie, he saw not a mystic, but a woman possessed by evil spirits speaking blasphemy. But surely the local magistrate didn't believe that. No, he did not, but that didn't matter. The doctor inflamed his neighbor's fears. No matter what I did, no matter what I said, it made no difference. Yeah, I think we're pretty familiar with how easy it is to get people riled up with misinformation and hatred. They wouldn't listen to reason. They wouldn't even listen to scripture. In the dead of night, they gathered at the convent and set fire to it. Sister Amelie was lucky to escape with her life. The rest of the nuns were not as fortunate. Oh my gosh. So I am all too aware of what can happen when a mob forms. I should have known it would happen again. This is my fault. How is it your fault? I'll say nothing and let him keep talking, or should I say you can't blame yourself for this? Well, I wish I could say, how is it your fault? I guess I'll say you can't blame yourself? Why not? I share more than a small measure of responsibility. You'd think that Otto's death would have shocked the farmers into abandoning a hopeless cause. It's only inflamed them. Do what you can to keep the peasants calm. I'm still looking for Otto's killer. It should have never come to this. The abbot should have known he was playing with fire. It will be all right, Father. Have faith. Yeah, the abbot definitely didn't do anything to help with the peasants' tensions. I mean, when they're on the verge of starvation and you're watching your children and your spouse and your loved ones and your friends all starving and struggling, it's hard not to have anger build up, you know? But I'm really wondering about this fire that he is talking about. He came from a town, he and Sister Amelie came from a town where there was a mob that had burned down the nunnery, and we found a book in the library that didn't belong there. It wasn't in the library catalog, and it was singed around the edges. And when we talked to Brother Idoc about it, he said that a great evil had happened and that we should forget all about it and not have anything to do with the book. Now I'm wondering if the singed book was brought here by Father Thomas and Sister Amelie. Is Sister Amelie the one that's sending all the mysterious notes? Or was she the phantom that we saw on the aqueduct? Because I don't know why, but the way that the shadowy figure leaped across the aqueduct to me just seemed kind of feminine. And maybe that's just me somehow reading something into it. I don't know. But the game has kind of implied that the writer of the mystery notes was a man. Or maybe I just assumed it was. But it could be a woman. But then that means she would be the one that had copied the burned book that we found, because it was the same handwriting. And I don't know if women were scribes back then, if it was only men. It could be Father Thomas. I don't know. It's very sus, though, with him coming from a town that had burned down their monastery, and then us finding a burned book in the library. Yeah, this seems all interconnected. I'm very suspicious. I'll say the abbot should have known he was playing with fire. I'm going to say that, though. And what about Otto and Peter? What about Claus? Shouldn't they have known? Peasants are being butchered all over Swabia. I just want this to stop before it gets any worse. I suppose there's no good fretting about what's already happened. I have to minister to the people of the town as best I can, given the circumstances, and pray for the best. Speaking of which, I need to hear confessions for the townsfolk. It's a tasking tradition after St. John's Eve, in case they got up to any mischief that can't wait until Easter. I have to give priority to the locals, of course, but if you want to wait a few hours, I can hear you. You don't have to, of course, but I would be remiss if I didn't offer. Not right now, Father, but thank you. If I say it sounds just fine, then a couple of hours are going to go by, and I'll get to hear everyone's confessions, but I don't know if I'm up for that right this minute. I want to chase down all of my other leads first, and then decide what I want to do. Alright, so we can always come back and hear the confessions. Alright, we can go out to the mill and talk to the miller. Up here's Elsa. Bless you, Master Mailer. Ah, Andreas, it appears you're caught up in another murder again. Quite unfortunate timing for you. Quite fortunate for you, given your meal with Baltas and Dr. Stolz. If I can find the real killer and prevent more bloodshed, maybe it's a good thing I was here. Yeah, I'll say that. Just stall them. Either they'll see the error of their ways, or the Duke will send soldiers to Tassing. Yes, a show of force. That will quench the peasants' bloodlust. If you say so, say nothing. I'll say nothing. In any case, if you get tired of investigating, my door is open. If you'd like to join my family for a meal or see the mountains, just let me know. See the mountains? See the mountains? Perhaps some other time. I don't know if I want to go out and see the mountains with him right now. I'll say perhaps some other time. Let's see if we can talk to Martin. His house is locked up. We can talk to Kat. Good to see you, Andreas. Hello, Kat. Martin seems different from how I remembered him. What changed? Oh, that's right. He was still gone by the time you left Tassing. He returned several weeks later, like he always did. Was it his travels or time that changed him? Is he still causing trouble for the town? I'll ask if he's still causing trouble for the town. No, not at all. He's become a stalwart presence in the town, and he's so good to Brigita. He hasn't stolen anything or run off in years. Truly the Lord provides for his faithful. He and Otto were arguing the other day, though. Do you know why? Were they? I'm sorry, Andreas, but I don't know anything about that. Martin supports Otto in his cause against the abbot's taxes. They didn't have any cause to fight. I don't know, Kat. Their argument was quite heated. Would Martin have any reason to hurt Otto? Of course not. They'd become close friends these past few years, like brothers. Even brothers quarrel. After Franz died, God blessed me by returning my son to me healed of his darkness. We should be giving thanks that the Lord led Martin to the light. Yeah, I'm not sure that it's Martin, though. I still have that sneaking suspicion that Martin's partner in crime is the one who actually returned and assumed his identity. You weren't blind to his flaws before. You know men like him don't change. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you. I'm just trying to find out who really killed Otto. Frowned thoughtfully. I'll say you weren't blind to his flaws before. Trust me, Andreas, I know my own son. Martin would never do such a thing. As you say. Thank you for talking with me, Cat. I'll say as you say. Until later, Andreas. Okay. Oh, there's Martin. Hello, Andreas. Oh, I can't question you? Are you kidding me? I can't say, hey, were you running through the forest? Hey, did you kill Otto? Hey, why were you guys arguing? Oh my gosh, come on. Hello, Andreas. Could you spare a moment, Brigita? I suppose. What do you need? It was so strange seeing Martin. What do you mean? It seems like he came back from his travels a changed man. Last time I was in Tassing, he ran off. Now he's back, and I didn't recognize him. He was an ass last time I saw him, but he seems changed now. Ooh, I'll say that I didn't recognize him. It's been 7 years, Andreas. Everyone in Tassing has changed. Yeah, some more than others, though. Is that so bad? Of course not. I just didn't expect it of Martin. I'll say that. He did get into an argument with Otto when I was coming into town, though. What happened there? Why all the questions about my husband, Andreas? I'm looking for any reason someone might want to murder Otto. I'm trying to figure out who murdered Otto. I can lie and say I'm trying to catch up on everything that's changed, or I can remain silent. I'm looking for a reason someone might want to murder Otto. That's what I'll say. Otto was pressing Martin to support him in the town commons, Andreas. Martin has changed, but his history in this town is remembered. He doesn't want to cause more trouble. He didn't want to speak in the commons because he's afraid of the abbot. They squabbled over it, that's all. Otto threatened Martin if he didn't cooperate. What was your husband so afraid Otto knew? Help me understand the truth, Brigita. Ooh, I can persuade her because I spoke well of Martin's return. All right. Martin does have a secret, I'll tell you. Oh, yeah. Lay it on me. My Martin never came back. He died on the road. Oh, I knew it. I was right. The man who came back is Jobst Farber. He traveled with my husband, and when Martin died, he took my husband's place. They looked alike. No one even noticed. Jobst has been a better husband than Martin ever was. He had a rough past, but he's a changed man. He saved the farm and our family. He works hard and lets me spend as much time with Veronica as I want. Sure, why wouldn't he let you spend time with Veronica? He's a miracle I never expected to have. I don't know how Otto found out, but I'm not surprised he held it over Jobst to get his way. Oh, so Otto was like blackmailing him, like support me in town or I'll tell everyone you're not really Martin. Oh, shit. That wasn't fair of Otto, but Jobst wouldn't kill Otto over it. If anyone finds out he's impersonating Martin, he could face a criminal charge. But how well do you know Jobst, really? But he has gotten in trouble before, hasn't he? We'll ask about his troubles. Please, Andreas, I'm pregnant with his child. He's a good man. Leave us out of this. I'll do what I can to keep your family safe. I can't promise anything. Jobst isn't Martin, Brigita. You don't know what he could be capable of. Yeah, that's true. I mean, he was a highwayman. But so far in town, it seems like he's been a really good guy. He's been good to Brigita. He's been good to the family. I think one of the kids mentioned at the bonfire that Martin was getting into a lot of drunken brawls, but I wasn't clear on whether that was happening, like whether that was something that had happened before Martin left, if that was the old real Martin, or if that was something that had happened recently with the new Martin. I wasn't clear on that. I'll say he's not Martin and you don't know what he's really capable of. Maybe. I'll see you later, Andreas. Until then. Alright. Now can I talk to Martin? AKA Jobst? Nope, I can't say anything to him. Alright, well that's an interesting little tidbit of information. So he is definitely a suspect. Let's talk to the folks at Johan Bauer's farm. Hello, Andreas. Hello, Andreas. Hello, Hans. Yeah, because Johan here, he seems to be pretty riled up. Andreas, you and me need to talk. Alright, what's on your mind? Why are you helping the abbot? You know what he's been doing to our families. Because he's innocent. Peter is threatening the entire abbey, not just the abbot. Yeah, I'll say that. I suppose you do have some friendliness with them. Those monks never did any good by me or my family. By my measure, they've done a lot of harm. I understand your anger toward the abbot, but the monks don't deserve to die. Do you really think that burning down the abbey will make things better? I'll say I understand his anger. And what do we deserve, Andreas? To starve? When is the last time you went hungry, Andreas? In the last month, I count more lean days than full. If it weren't for Ulrich's charity, we wouldn't have had any bread at all this week. I'm sorry, Johan, but I have to do this. Then the abbot should answer for it, but not by burning down the abbey. Say nothing. I'll say the abbot should answer for it, but not by burning down the abbey. Because if you burn down the whole abbey, you're just going to bring all kinds of hell down on the town. Alright, you know what? If you're dead set on this, I think I can point you towards someone. Really? Why would you do that? I'll just say, really? Yes, really. It's my nephew, Martin. What? Why? Because I don't think he's who he says he is. I don't think he's Martin at all. Why do you think that? We all see what we want to see here, Andreas. The things we don't want to see, we ignore it as long as we can, for everyone's sake. I don't say anything about Eva's pretty blonde hair. Jorg doesn't say anything about my daughter's friendship with Brigita. Why do they keep referring back to the friendship? He's now like the third or fourth person to mention the friendship between Brigita and Veronica. It was mentioned before that they go out and hang out together at the waterfall, and then Brigita was like, oh, my husband doesn't mind that I'm friends with her. And now he's talking about it, like, maybe they're more than friends? You know what I mean? Maybe they're in a relationship with each other? Maybe that's why Jorg and Veronica haven't had any kids yet? Brigita and Kat don't say anything about Martin. Strong Martin, hardworking Martin, faithful Martin. Time can change a boy. Yeah, well, we already know it's not the same Martin. So you think he's an imposter because he's too good? Do you have any evidence? I'll ask if he has evidence, because I already know it's true, but I'm curious what he's got. No, just suspicion and a reason to not trust the man. When the abbot decided to give us old Ranig Kemper's land, there was a fee that we had to pay. We needed to expand. My brother and I couldn't say no. So the land went to both of us, and after Franz's death, a portion went to Martin. That doesn't sound like the worst thing. No, it wouldn't be if Martin hadn't brought up the idea of selling off the lease. That or parceling it out to other families. It gets complicated, but he'd be putting my land on the other side of someone else's. This whole arrangement works because we hold the land together. You know what the mob will do if they find out Martin's an imposter. Do you really think Martin, whoever he is, killed Otto? I'll say that. I think it's possible. If he can sleep with another man's wife and steal his land, maybe he could be a killer too. Alright, that's a good point, Johan, but you know what? You're also kind of a dick. Because when the widow Kemperin was executed for the murder, which I believe she did not commit, Johan was like, hey, thanks, Andreas, for helping me get her land. So, you know, he's kind of an underhanded dick too, so I don't completely trust him either. He just wants that land for himself at any cost. Alright, I'll consider it. Good. Alright, Johan's suspicions. Well, we already know that his suspicions are very well founded and are true, but I'm not going to tell him that. Let's go talk to the Gertners and see what they know. Hey, Peter. Alright, can't talk to him. Alright, they have nothing to tell us. Hey, Endris. Andreas, how did you get caught up in another murder? Bad luck? I'm not trying to do it, I swear. Maybe God wants me to solve murders instead of making art. Yeah, I'll say that. Seems like a bad way to put food on the table, but maybe you're right. Listen, Andreas, I can't talk any sense into Peter. I understand he's angry. We're all angry, but threatening the abbot? Burning down the abbey? The Duke's soldiers will tear this town apart. I'm doing what I can, Endris. If Peter won't listen to you, what makes you think I carry any more weight with him? I'll say that. I don't know. You lived with the man. I'm just worried for all of us. I understand. I'll talk to you later, Endris. Alright, he doesn't have much to tell me. Let's see if there's anyone. Oh, Till is out here in the town commons. Let's talk to Till. Hello, Master Mailer. Nope, he's got nothing else to say. Ooh, let's go see if we can talk to Eva. Maybe she'll know something about the severed head that Otto was talking about. Oh, Andreas. I'm so sorry, Eva. Are you alright? I'll say I'm so sorry. I knew something like this would happen. He believed in what he was doing. I know he was doing the right thing, but Andreas, I was so scared. I don't know what I'm going to do now. I'm sure your family can help you, Eva. We'll get through this, all of us. It's hard to deal with death that's so sudden. I'm sure your family can help you. Yeah, they can barely help themselves. They have fallen on hard times. But I'll say that. They have enough problems without needing to take care of me. And a baby. I'm sorry, Andreas. I'm just so tired. It's alright. Maybe we could come back later and share a meal together. Yes, I think that would help. Later then. Until then. And maybe during the meal she'll tell me more about Otto and the severed head. And let's check in with the stonemason. Hey, Lucky. Andreas, not looking good, is it? I warned you there'd be blood. Looks like only the beginning to me, too. So you did. I have to find the real killer before things grow worse. Otto didn't deserve this. He was an honest man with a good cause. I'm just gonna say I've got to find the real killer. Best you get on that, then. The unrest bodes ill. Peasants are about to do something foolish. Why haven't you told them about the secret entrance into the library? I don't always see eye to eye with Peter and the rest, but I don't want them all killed. If they got into the library, I don't even wish to imagine what they could do. The soldiers would strike back, and there'd be a massacre in Tassing. I have no choice but to stop them. Do you have any thoughts on who might have done this? You didn't kill Otto, did you? Why would he do it? Now, I'll say, do you have any thoughts? No. Otto had a few conflicts, but nobody I'd call an enemy. Best of luck to you, Andreas. You don't have much time. You're right, I don't. Oh, how's she doing? Is she still trying to have her baby? Andreas, I can't talk right now. I need to watch over Rachel. Okay. We'll leave you to it, then. Let's go in and talk to Ulrich in the bakery. He seems to be giving an awful lot of people credit in town so that they can continue to have bread to eat. Maybe he knows something. God bless you, Andreas. God bless you, Ulrich. How have you been? Before or after Otto was murdered? Before? I was fine. The family was fine, thank God. Little Anna has some problems with stealing, but she's getting better. With stealing? Children can be rebellious, especially if the parents are strict. I pray that I am firm but loving. I think she understands that. If not, I pray she will understand in time when she has children of her own. But certainly, you want to talk about something more important than Anna's minor crimes. Do you know anything about who might have killed Otto? Can you talk to Peter? He's putting everyone in danger by threatening the Abbey. And I'm going to find out who might have wanted to kill Otto. Andreas, if I knew anything, I'd tell you. I'd tell Peter. I am critical of the abbot, but I still love the man. I still love all of the brothers and sisters at Kearsarge. I don't want to see them harmed any more than you do. If I see or hear anything that could help, you'll be the first person I tell. Thank you, Ulrich. It's the least I can do. Keep faith, Andreas. Trust in Providence. We are all in God's hands. God bless you, Andreas. And hello, Master Mailer. Alright. That didn't help much. Alright, let's investigate the scene of the crime here. I wonder how long rat house construction will be delayed now. Really, that's it? We can't do any other investigating? Alright, let's talk to the doctor. Hello, Andreas, and he's got nothing to say. Really? Maybe Baltasar will have more to say. Greetings, Andreas. You have arrived at the ideal moment. Alright, less than ideal considering Otto's recent death. It is a great tragedy. It took place right outside your house. You truly didn't catch anything that would be useful to my investigation? Yeah, I'll say that. Alas, as said, Werner and Lenhardt and I were engaged in a stimulating debate when we heard the crash outside. I only saw a figure flee, but unfortunately I have no useful details on whoever it may have been. I hope you find a lead, for I have severe doubts about the involvement of the abbot in this gruesome affair. Meanwhile, I am drawing close to the final design of my latest invention. As such, I would very much like to hear your thoughts on it. Of course, you asked me to come share ideas. It doesn't feel most appropriate considering the circumstances, but I suppose I could listen. Is this going to rope me into a lengthy discussion that is going to make time pass and I'm going to miss out on other options? I'll say of course. Splendid, I've been devising something most unique. Come. At present we have a problem. The peasants suffer under harsh conditions. Do you agree? They do not have an easy life, no. That's what they've been saying. I'm not that certain, though. Life isn't easy for anyone. Yeah, I will definitely say they do not have it easy. They toil constantly, but achieve little over bare subsistence. They are then taxed heavily. The peasants grow angrier, hence the nascent troubles all across the lands. It is a dangerous time. So I have devised a tool to lessen their drudgery. Here, take a look at the schematic. Behold the plow. In front of it, an automaton, man or beast, it matters little, dragging the plow behind it. Have you seen any artificial people before? The Frauenkirche clock at Nuremberg features a procession of mechanical men, Männlein laufen, that can be seen on midday. Can't say I have. I guess I'll say all of this. A proud tribute to our holy emperor. So you understand of which I speak, the intricacies of machinery. Gears within gears, symmetric coils turning a shaft system that leads to the gearing mechanism. Controls that are quite complex, but allow for it to follow a predetermined path. It toils, so the peasant doesn't have to. What provides it with energy? It can't operate for long on the power of a spring alone. I can say that with my craftsman background. Would it have enough strength to plow through rough soil? I'll use my craftsman background. Leonardo has written of what he calls smoke turbines, so for a while I thought to add a furnace, but it is far too cumbersome. Like many of his inventions, it has proven lacking in actual practicality. The universe reveals itself through the minute intricacies of clockwork. There are still a few imperfections to work out, but I can feel I am on the correct path. Tell me, Andreas, what do you think? Be truthful. There can be no progress without truth. We already have ways to harness the incredible strength of oxen and horses, so what's the point? It's great. Honestly, it's shit. I would call it an overwrought, over-engineered, overly complex solution to a far simpler problem. Well, that's kind of mean. I'll say we already have oxen and horses. We could even free the beasts from their burden. I am on a fool's errand, am I not? It is what my father would have said as well. I fear I am a disappointment. Oh, don't be so hard on yourself. Your father is also an inventor? He is, with a sharp mind and a sharper tongue, if need be. Why did you leave in the first place? I had to prove myself to my father, I suppose, and maybe... my father had attempted to arrange for me a marriage. I did not feel ready. It's not so bad once you get used to it. You were right to evade it. It's a curse sent to man by a most malevolent force. Remain silent. I'll remain silent. In any case, there is so much more I have to learn. My inventions have not been as successful as I would like. Perhaps it's because you're lacking the correct frame of mind? Or I can say why so. I'll say why so. I'm not certain. I can envision such designs, but these do not coalesce. Think bigger, Baltas. Reach higher. You must have more ambition, a lofty goal. A successful design requires the simple elegance of function. Consider the aesthetic. Look for the substance that emerges from the harmony of paints. Have you tried military applications, as Leonardo did? He invented many weapons. No, I'm going to use my craftsman background and say that a successful design requires the simple elegance of function. It was what I have aimed for most of the time. Perhaps it has not been simple enough. But I thank you, Andreas. I invited you to exchange thoughts, and you have proven most valuable. This conversation has given me much to consider. But now I guess I must return to work. Good luck, Baltas. Until later. Alright, well, we went back and talked to Baltas and exchanged some thoughts. I don't think I did him any favors. I think that's going to be all for today. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. If you're enjoying these Pentiment videos, leave a like, a comment, or a sub. And if you'd like to go even further, there is the YouTube Super Thanks tip jar, channel memberships, or you can check out my website at junkwitch.com, where I make and sell things that would probably get me burned at the stake if I actually lived in medieval Europe. Take care of yourselves. Until next time. Bye!